FSU. This is student meteorologist Jessica Kirk.
And I'm student meteorologist Jonathan Marcus. And the big story today is currently the cold weather that we're having here in Tallahassee, right?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Guys, it was a long summer that lasted really from just about May up until the very end of October. I mean, the day before Halloween, we were still outside bearing with those fairly warm temperatures. And before we knew it, we are now walking around with parkas.
Yes, it was really, really funny, honestly, to see the people, some of the people who aren't necessarily used to the cold walking around in these giant puff jackets and also with gloves on their hands.
Yes.
Whereas some of us that are from up north that have dealt with these conditions, we are down here in a light jacket and jeans,
Oh, yes,
per se.
absolutely. It definitely took my breath away when I walked outside this morning, as it was fairly chilly. It was 35 when I was up pretty early this morning, so that was a surprise. I have to say, I'm enjoying the cold, though. It's been nice to get back to winter.
I'm going to disagree with you, and I'm going to say that we're not enjoying the cold, but thankfully for me, temperatures are going to eventually increase as we get some of that moisture back.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we're going to talk about that later in the show, about how we're not going to stick in the 30s for too much longer, although we are.
Thank goodness, am I right?
Although we are in fall, so temperatures are, we're not going to see temperatures back in the upper 80s and 90s, which I sure am thankful for. I'm glad to be back in jacket and jeans weather.
Yeah, we might. I don't think we're going to get back into the 80s for the rest of the season, but we might get back into the 70s next week. So
that
a little
be
bit
unpleasant.
of a little last taste of warmth. So we're going to go ahead and pass things off to the wall, where Tyler's going to take a look at what's going on.
Thanks, guys. Currently in Tallahassee, we're at 50 degrees. We see the sun shining here in the background, but that sun's setting right around now. Mostly cloudy skies. Those winds coming out of the northeast at 5 miles per hour. And then over the entire Big Bend region, not any rain to be seen. It's been a very cool and clear day all throughout the region. But looking towards tomorrow, our forecast model is showing a lot of cloud coverage moving in the morning hours. And then as we get into the later afternoon and into the evening, we're going to start to see those rain chances pick up a lot for Tallahassee and other cities in the Big Bend region. For tonight, going to get down to 43 degrees, not quite as cold as that 33 degrees from yesterday. Partly cloudy skies, winds coming out of the northeast at 5 miles per hour. Tallahassee is going to have a temperature of 59 degrees tomorrow, and then Monticello going to be at 57. But looking at our headlines, rain forecasted for Thursday night, a cool and crisp weekend ahead, and those fall temperatures are going to stick around for quite a while. And I'm going to send things off to Zach with a look at the southeast.
Yeah, thanks, Tyler. Much cooler than we've really been used to here across the entire Big Bend region. Behind me here, the cold, all here up in the northeast, even down here into Tallahassee. Maybe not as cold as it is there in the north, but still 50 degrees. It doesn't feel the nicest. We've been used to those warm, humid conditions. Really, you can see the contrast here with South Florida, Miami, 74 degrees, and up in Charleston, 42. Way, way colder up there in the north, however. The dew points, though, that is the real story here. Wow, look at the contrast. 54 in Orlando, you're kind of here in the middle, but Tallahassee, 30 degrees is your dew point, but Miami, a whole 40 degrees, more moist, more humid there in Miami. That's a night and day difference, complete tale of two different seasons here. Satellite and radar, the high pressure is really just dominating here over the southeast, and you can see these showers and thunderstorms here over Texas and the northern Gulf of Mexico here. That could be making its way into our region here in the next 24 hours. So something we're really going to have to keep an eye on, but it is going to help us to warm up just a little bit. Behind me here, Miami, you have those sea breeze showers and thunderstorms kind of coming onshore there. Nothing too serious to worry about, but it is making for a little dampen on your evening commute. The forecast model tonight, we're going to see here in the western Gulf of Mexico, that system moving its way on in along where that frontal boundary was. We're going to step in. This is by tomorrow afternoon, evening. You can see really the showers and thunderstorms picking up here as we get into the Tallahassee region, up here into the Carolinas. We got a lot of those showers and thunderstorms probably. Mostly the stratiform rain, but we can't rule out some thunderstorms. No severe weather or anything like that expected. It is a weak low pressure system, and it's going to move well off to the coast there and up into the Carolinas and out of our way by midday on Friday. Wind speeds, light and variable pretty much. We have some generally easterly winds, east to west, around that high pressure system that we talked about, just dominating the southeast. Tonight's forecast, more of the same, clear and cool, 43 in Tallahassee, 34 in Montgomery, 30 in Nashville. There's colder conditions, but the contrast, once again, still sticking around, 74 in Miami. Summer just refuses to let go there in South Florida. Tomorrow, more of the same kind of thing. We have 80 degrees in Orlando, 82 in Miami. Got those warm, humid temperatures really sticking around. The spine of the Appalachians there, 44 in Charlotte, 44 in Atlanta. Those colder temperatures are, still hanging on, but we are starting to moderate a little bit. Tallahassee is going to be having it 59 right now, and yeah, it's not going to be too bad. We're going to keep things, the humidity is going to increase, those clouds are going to increase with that system that's coming in from the Gulf, going to provide us with a lot of rain, and like I said, those warmer temperatures. Now I'm going to pass things off to Chris. He's going to look at your local a little closer.
Thank you, Zach. Right now we're moving into our FSU weather stem. You can see the end of this beautiful sunset that's over at Doak Campbell Stadium right now on this gorgeous Wednesday evening. It's been pretty chilly. If you look at our almanac, our high is nowhere near our average high. We're 18 degrees below where we're normally, and our low temperature is only 9 degrees higher than our record low set way back in 1968. You take your hot September, you take your hot October, you add them together. Well, you playing at home, we said hot November. You're going to be a little bit disappointed, as it's going to be this November shaping to be quite chilly, as we're saying. And getting a closer look at our local temperatures, we're sitting mostly in the 50s. St. Mark's is shockingly high at 57, which may not feel like high for most of Florida. However, most areas are at 50, 51, 56, and 46 in Donaldsonville. Like, quite frigid if you're from the Florida area. Not liking these temperatures, and you're not liking these dew points at all. You're actually seeing some dew points below freezing, 29 degrees in Donaldsonville as our dew point. There's not much moisture, as we have this cold, dry air that's been sitting over the area, keeping us cold, making us feeling quite unpleasant for those of Florida. I'm from the north. I quite like these temperatures. It reminds me of home. But for you Floridians out there, I know you're not enjoying this at all. But going into our satellite radar, you can see that there's this high pressure system that's been dominating the area, keeping this cloud cover out of the area, keeping us nice, clear skies, which is going to be keeping us pretty cold, as there's no clouds to block any radiation escaping the area, which is going to be keeping us cold overnight. However, over the next 24 hours, we're going to see some clouds coming in that's going to keep us a little bit warmer in the night, as over on the Thursday evening, we're going to have this this low pressure system that's going to be bringing in a lot of rainfall, which is going to be warming us up a little bit and bringing in some moisture and some rainy days. Tonight's forecast, we're going to be sitting chilly in the 40s throughout most of the area. Quincy's actually going to be 39 as our coldest spot on the map. Moving into tomorrow, we're going to be sitting in the upper 50s, which not in the 60s, which is strange if you remember October, where we spent mostly in the 80s. Tonight in Tallahassee, 43, partly cloudy, winds coming out of the northeast at 5 miles an hour. And our Thursday's forecast, there are 59 rain chances in the afternoon. On our 7-day, Thursday and Friday, you're going to have some rain sticking around for a cold week. However, they start to clear up a little bit over this weekend with partly cloudy skies on Saturday and Sunday. Tuesday, you're also going to have some clouds, but for now, I'm going to walk over to the desk with Zach and myself, as we're going to talk about that tropical rain that's going to be coming in tomorrow.
Yeah. So, we just had the front that moved through. Things are kind of cool. We're in that festive mood. It's kind of fall and winter, but not sticking around for too long.
Yeah. We saw those highs starting to shoot up into the upper 60s over the 7-day, but that rain, I'm sort of looking forward to it. We're going to have some cloud cover that's going to keep some of that energy that there gives off. It's going to keep us a little warmer.
Right. So, you're gonna see those temperatures increase. You're going to see the humidity come back up. The winds are going to start to shift around once again from the south. It's a weak low pressure system. It's kind of an interesting story. It's kind of related to that front that moved through yesterday. When the fronts move over the warm Gulf of Mexico, sometimes they can spin up these weak little low pressures, and it just kind of is going to move its way into our area over the next 24 hours or so.
Yeah. So over the next 24 hours, you're going to make sure you have your rain jackets, especially Thursday evening and the Friday morning. That's when most of this this weak low pressure system is going to be coming in and giving us quite a bit of rainfall.
Absolutely, yeah. And, you know, it's not like something we're expecting a lot of severe weather, a lot of winds out of or anything like that. But, yeah, you could have some showers, some thunderstorms, and, you know, probably going to be a lot for the next, into tomorrow night, really. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to last too long.
Yeah, it's not going to be, like, super strong as it's not fully closed. It's not a fully closed low. It's more of open, and it will close up once it passes Jacksonville area. However, it's still going to give us some weaker, well, lighter stratiform showers.
Yeah.
Persisting in the
Absolutely, absolutely. And, you know, the models, we talked about a little bit about this. A lot of the enthusiasts and the meteorologists, too, like to look at the models. And the models kind of all over the place with the system. Some said that there would be a really strong kind of low. Some of them said, oh, this isn't going to be anything. And now we're kind of like back in the middle where something's going to happen, but nothing too impressive. So.
Yeah. And if you actually look at the models about a week ago, they actually lost the system altogether. It was forecast to be super cold, but a few days ago they started picking it back up and raising our forecasted temperatures.
Absolutely. So let's take a look at our national picture with Jonathan.
So the big story right now across the country is that cold front that we had that you can see. It is currently off the coast here, off in the Atlantic. But notice we do have a little bit more disturbed weather coming, and that's going to be the big story as we're moving on. We have this secondary cold front and associated with this long-term pattern we have set up right now. But we also have this little area of disturbed weather over Texas that you're going to notice is going to go ahead and move towards the Tallahassee region. We're going to have that secondary cold front push across the area, and the high pressure system is going to sort of be left behind or pushed out to our east, and that is going to introduce some disturbed weather into the area tomorrow. But taking a look at your temperatures right now, once again, cold, blue, the maps are blue, it is cold outside. It is warm down in Miami and warm behind me in California, but the entirety of the country is in those cooler purple and blue colors, indicating that it is crisp and chilly outside. Dew points are also going to be very low as a result of the systems we have. Notice our tropical moisture is essentially relegated to just the I-10 and South Corridor in Florida. Notice your dew point is only 4 degrees in Boston. Memphis at 17, Atlanta at 20. Those are very low dew points for that area. It is very dry air outside, and that is going to mean for right now the weather is a little bit boring. But notice around Houston we do have this rain shower, and in Chicago associated with that front we do have the snow showers, and we're going to go ahead and take a closer look at each of these. So in Houston we have this rain shower. It's not a lot of heavy rain, it's just a little bit of shower activity. It's kind of like one of those winter days where you're just sitting there and you have that thicker layer of stratus clouds, and it's more of a stratus type rain. It's just going to be rainy and dreary all day. And this is the system that's going to move towards Tallahassee tomorrow and create our disturbed weather, whereas a little bit more exciting weather up around the Great Lakes, Chicago, Michigan, Green Bay, you're all experiencing some snow showers. That is, if you're from the south like me, that is an exciting time. They're kind of used to the snow. They might be getting a little bit sick of it. But notice we have on the upper level water vapor map, that's a good way to tell how and what you have coming. Whereas we have this dry air, but it's sort of on the exit, and you have this the more moist blues and whites. That is going to be moving over towards Tallahassee as we approach tomorrow. And that's going to be seen in this next 24 hours map, where you're going to notice this moisture is going to slowly creep out of Texas and towards Tallahassee. That snow is going to actually move up into Canada, and it's going to be dry across the rest of the country. And that means for tonight's forecast, because we are in those high pressure dry conditions, we don't have that much going on. Notice 43 in Tallahassee. Tomorrow's forecast, it's going to be 53 in Tallahassee with a chance of showers. And for a better look at that, we're going to go ahead and pass things off on to Jesse.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. Guys, what a beautiful day it was here in Tallahassee. I was so excited that it's finally getting colder. Currently 50 degrees outside, and those clouds are finally starting to roll in, as it was a very clear day, that blue sky just shining as I walked to class and to the library, but that's not going to stick around for too much longer. So we can see that it's very, very clear over the Tallahassee region, and we really didn't have any of those clouds today, but just like I said, those are going to start rolling in here in the next next 24 hours. This is all that cloud cover that's just pushing in overnight, and then you see that switch to where they're going to start coming up from the south, and that's where all that rain is coming from. So we did have that low pressure system that ended up churning up some activity in the Gulf, and that's going to bring us a little bit of that rain, and we are expecting a little bit of heavy rain even down by the coast where they got that red spot. So they're going to have a little bit of heavy rainfall, but we're not expecting any thunderstorms, anything severe. Just keep your rain jacket on you as you're going about tomorrow evening. As for tonight, it's 50 degrees currently in Tallahassee, a little bit warmer by the coast, 57 in St. Mark's. Up in Donaldsonville, a little cooler at 46. So they're a little bit further north. They're experiencing a little bit cooler temperatures, and things are going to continue to go down as we go into the night. Now, something that came with that cold front are these extremely dry dew points. That dry air just followed it down into Tallahassee. 30-degree dew point in Tallahassee and really in the 30s all around the Panhandle region, which is keeping that air extremely dry, what we're not used to. Just like we always say, it's finally chapstick weather. Just make sure you stay hydrated, even though it doesn't feel as hot and sticky outside. Currently, our winds are coming from the northeast, as you can see, pushing down. But like I said, overnight, those are actually going to switch. We're going to start seeing things come up from the Gulf. It's actually going to bring us a little bit of tropical moisture, little bit of change of pace. Tonight, 7 p.m., it's going to be 51. Those clouds are going to start rolling in. At 11, it's going to be 44 degrees, so that temperature is going to drop even cooler. So if you're out tonight, keep that heavy jacket with you, and if you're not used to this weather, maybe even have some gloves or a hat as well. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be pretty chilly. Those clouds are going to hang around, and we're going to hit 59 tomorrow late afternoon, and after that is when we're going to see some of those rain clouds roll in. So that's when you're going to want to make sure you have your jacket if you're planning on studying tomorrow night or doing any activities outside. Our 7 days showing that we're going to have a little bit of rain for the next 2 days, and then things are going to clear out Saturday and Sunday, hopefully for a great game day forecast. We're going to see temperatures in the 60s. Things are going to warm up a little bit. We're going to have partly cloudy skies into the beginning of next week, but things are still going to stay pretty chilly. And just as we've been saying this whole show, man, it is just cold, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah, it's pretty cold out there. My favorite game has just started, which is Spot the Floridian.
I love playing that every year. You can always tell who's not from the north. All the people in the parkas and the scarves and the gloves, even when it hits about 60 degrees, they start to bring those out.
Yeah, you see that? You have the guy from Minnesota that's walking next to them, just like wearing shorts and t-shirt, like might be wearing the swimsuit as they like just left the league or something. Like that's like.
Now, it was a little bit colder than 60. I mean, we did hit 35 this morning, so it's really starting to cool off. And something that I'm sure all of us get asked a lot is, you know, is it going to snow? And it hasn't snowed since, I think, 2017 is when we had that snowstorm in January. I wasn't here for that, but...
Yeah, I was on my way back to Tallahassee, actually, then. It was the great snowstorm of 2017 where we got 1/10 of an inch of snow and shut down the whole city.
I don't think we're going to be seeing that anytime
Yeah, I
soon.
don't think we're gonna see that
Unfortunately,
for
for
a
all,
while.
all y'all looking for snow, just travel a little bit further north. You know they're getting plenty of that up in the northeast. Just like they said, they're probably tired of it by now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's still early in the season. I'm from Virginia. We always like our first snow, and then once it gets to like December or January, then we're like, I kind of don't want snow anymore.
Oh,
But,
yeah. And along with the snow comes those freezing temperatures. So today, this morning, we actually hit 33 degrees. So we're very close to breaking freezing at 32.
Yeah, we're 33 this morning. It's actually been 8 years since we've been below 20, which was also set back in January, so that's our coldest month. Also, our average first freeze would be coming up. It's November 16th.
Yeah, but like I said, we almost hit it today, so we're a little bit ahead on the cold weather, even though we had a really, really long summer that really lasted until the very last day of October.
Yeah, it's been a long summer, and then we're like, all right, cool. Who wants fall anyway? We're going straight to winter.
Somebody flipped a switch. We definitely skipped fall, although we got Thanksgiving coming up. Hopefully it'll be a nice, cool, relaxing Thanksgiving and then lead us right on into Christmas, although Tallahassee probably won't be seeing any snow then either.
Yeah, Tallahassee usually doesn't see snow in Christmas. Not typically known for a white Christmas. I'm still looking
Unfortunately.
forward to Thanksgiving, which is my favorite holiday. Gotta respect the birds. But anyway, we're going to be sending things off to the wall with Tyler, who likes playing Christmas music too early.
All right. I do love my Christmas music. Tallahassee at 50 degrees right now. Jacksonville's at 48. You can really see that temperature gradient in North Florida, switching to Central Florida. Orlando about 20 degrees warmer at 67 degrees, and then gets even warmer as we move towards the south. Key West is at 79 degrees as we speak, and the dew point gradient is much of the same, very dry in the northern parts of Florida, and as we move into Central Florida, starts to get a little bit more moist and humid, and then moving into South Florida, even more moisture and humidity there. But satellite and radar showing some light cloud coverage in Central Florida, not really any cloud coverage to speak of in North Florida. And then zooming into Miami, we can actually see some rainfall coming through there right now. Not anything too heavy or crazy, but looking at Fort Myers to their west, they're not really seeing much. It's all situated more to the southeast of Florida. And then looking into the next 24 hours, we're going to start to see rain moving from the west. And then by the time we get into Thursday night around 8 o'clock, you're going to see a lot of rain in the northern parts of Florida, especially east of the Big Bend region. And then moving a little bit even more east, northeast of Orlando, we're going to see some rain there. And then in southern parts of Florida as well, seeing rain just north of Miami. So scattered rainfall all throughout Florida. Sorry, my producer Parker is distracting me a little bit here. Tampa to our west, seeing some rainfall off the coast. For Orlando, going to see a high of 80 degrees tomorrow with a 30% chance of rain. Friday, going to see those temperatures drop down to 75 degrees, 60% chance of rain on Friday. And then Saturday, going to see the temperatures drop by another 5 degrees, only 10% chance of rain, so a very beautiful day on Saturday. On Saturday, a great time to go out to Universal Studios or Disney World if you're in the Orlando area. For Miami, not going to see those temperatures draw all too much. Going to see those rain chances stick around as well, not dipping below 30% chance of rain at all. That lowest temperature is going to be on Saturday at 77 degrees with the 30% chance of rain. For tomorrow, or for tonight's forecast, Tallahassee is going to stay cold at 43 degrees. Fairly cold in the central parts of Florida, Tampa at 63, and then moving into South Florida, going to keep things warm with Miami at 74 degrees. And then moving into tomorrow, we're going to see much of the same thing with our temperature gradients here. Tallahassee is going to be at 59. Going to get a lot warmer, though, as we move eastwards toward Jacksonville with a high of 70 degrees. And then moving towards the south, those highs are going to be in the lower 80s for pretty much all of Central and South Florida. But now I'm going to pass things off to Jonathan with our final local look of the evening.
So we're going to go ahead and start with a live cam shot over Cascades Park, where you'll notice it is already dark outside, and that means the temperatures are going to continue to drop throughout the night. It is dark and clear. There are no clouds to trap in that heat. So temperatures are going to drop like my good friend Tyler did when he accidentally walked in front of the camera. So we're going to go ahead and look at the almanac, where the temperature today, high of 56, is much lower than our average. So our cold snap for November has gotten here a little bit quicker. We are nowhere near our record highs or lows, though, so that's a good sign. But for our temperatures across the area, Tallahassee, you're at 50. St. Mark's, you're our warm spot at 57 down by the coast. And notice in Thomasville, where you're a little bit further north, it is going to be a little bit cooler. You are at 43 degrees. Dew point, we are dry across the area. As Jesse mentioned earlier in the show, make sure you have your chapstick and make sure you are staying hydrated. It is dry outside. You do not want to deal with the consequences of having chapped lips. Satellite and radar, there is nothing going on. That is a result of the high pressure system that we have in the area. Although notice there is a little bit of cloud cover creeping in, and that is going to continue into tomorrow, where you'll notice the cloud cover is sort of pushing in from the south, and we eventually have this big rain band come through the area that's going to produce some shower activity, and that is going to mean that the temperatures tomorrow are going to be a little bit warmer. But for tonight, you're at 43 in Tallahassee, so it's going to drop 7 degrees from what it is now. I would keep a jacket on you if you are planning on being outside at any moment. Moving on to tomorrow's forecast, temperatures are going to rise tomorrow a little bit higher than they did today. St. Mark's 59, Tallahassee 59, a little bit warmer by the coast, and that is a result of this southerly flow we have. Notice the cooler blue colors on the map are going to be relegated to South Alabama and Georgia, whereas we finally have this green coming back onto the map for us. our evening planner tonight, you're going to start at 51 by 7 p.m. We're actually a little bit below that, so we're a bit ahead of schedule on the temperature drop. But it's going to drop to 44 by 11 p.m. So if you are out studying late in, say, Stroger or Dirac, make sure you have that jacket on you. If you do want to take your dog out for a walk, I would not do it tonight because of those colder temperatures, but tomorrow, make sure you get it in before 3 p.m. when the rain starts to creep into the area. 49 at 9 a.m., 52 at noon. Temperatures will rise throughout the day tomorrow, but as soon as that rain starts, it's going to feel cold and dreary outside. So taking a look at the week ahead, though, Thursday and Friday you have rain chances, but by the time for our last home game on Saturday, things are eventually going to settle down and get back up into the 60s. Notice next week we start approaching the mid-60s once again, which means we are going to get into our fall-like warmer conditions. So the little glimpse of winter-like temperatures we're getting this week are eventually going to fade out, and we're going to get back to sunny fall. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and send things off to Zach and Tyler to close on desk.
Thanks, Jonathan. Yeah, we appreciate it. You know, spooky season might have passed us by, but I tell you what, my bones were rattling this morning when I got up.
Yeah, it was extremely cold. I haven't felt anything like this since the beginning parts of this year, back in January.
Right,
and
yeah, spring
February.
semester. Right, yeah. It's been a pretty unusual fall. We were warm, it decided not to rain, and then all of a sudden winter just comes in with a vengeance.
Yeah, I remember last year our fall was a little bit more typical. It didn't quite get as hot, but it also didn't get as cold. It was a normal, I guess, fall season for the Southeast, or at least Tallahassee.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't as, you know, I remember my freshman year when I came to tour, I remember it storming every day. We had a nice afternoon thunderstorm, kind of cooled us off. And then, you know, around that, between Halloween and Thanksgiving, that's right, Thanksgiving, it is its own holiday. Yes, good times. We had a good time there. That's when the seasons would start to change. And this year it's like, whoa, Thanksgiving's happened, bam, it's winter. And so it's like, whoa.
Exactly. It's almost like we skipped fall, as some of the people were talking about earlier on the show. It's like we went from summer straight to winter here in Tallahassee.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Summer straight to winter. And, you know, it is kind of a shock to the system. You know, I'm here from the north, and things are, we're used to that kind of a change in the season. It's pretty extreme, you know. West Virginia, we like to say there's 4 seasons at a time, and you know, 4 seasons could happen in a week. Down here, we're not used to that kind of thing.
No.
You know?
But it is a little bit better than where I'm at from Central Florida, because usually there it's always hot. We're lucky to get into the 50-degree range, especially since I live right off the coast. So here in Tallahassee, at least, it seems like there's some season variation here. But,
seems like that sea breeze stops right at the I-10 corridor, and
Yeah,
we're like right on
exactly.
that line, so sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't. So
But make sure to follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/FSU weather.
absolutely, and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU weather.
And you can also watch live on YouTube. I'm sure if I'm on the show, everyone's going to be giving me a hard time like I had today.
And follow us on Instagram at FSU weather. Please send us any weather pictures you might have around the area. If you're watching us and you got snow, send us the pics. We know it's out there.
Yeah, exactly. We almost hit that freezing point last night. We were 33 degrees for our low.
Absolutely. But I'm student meteorologist Zach Richards.
And I'm student meteorologist Tyler Sheridan. Have a great night, everyone.